Easter. Hi, it's Father Andy. I'm just gathering up a soil sample to take over to the church for the blessing on the Feast of St. Mark. So this is the soil from about a month from now. I hope to be my tomato patch. I really love those Roma tomatoes. I usually plant about 8 to 10 plants in this little area by the side of the Rectory here. This is where the septic tank is for the Rectory. And so the ground isn't too good here. The grass doesn't grow well. I usually add a couple of bags of humus and topsoil and manure to it every year to build up the fertility of the soil. But by tradition, the Catholic Church celebrates the blessings of fields and flocks on the Feast of St. Mark, which is April 25th, this coming Sunday. And so because it's only right to gratefully recognize all the blessings that God has done for us. So in His great love for us, He's created the whole universe, and He's given us the care of the land and the flocks to mankind. And so we should be asking for God's blessing on our land to have a fruitful harvest, and also on the farm machinery that the bigger farmers than Father Randy would have. So here then, most people have a bigger farm field than Father Randy's little 4 by 12 foot patch of tomatoes. So I'm asking all the farmers and even the gardeners amongst you, parishioners, to bring a soil sample with you to Mass this weekend. And you can either do that or bring the keys to your tractor if you're a much bigger farmer. And I'll bless them at the end of the Mass on this feast of St. Mark, which is the 4th Sunday of Easter. It's also a day that we celebrate vocations. So the history of St. Mark's blessing of the fields and the farm fields and the flocks is very interesting. It used to be known as the Greater Litany. And so a procession would form with the priest and the servers. They would start out from the church and they would process out into the farm fields and the people, with the people following after them. And wherever they went, they would pray the litany. So they would pray a litany to the saints and ask for God's blessing. Wherever they walked, then, it was supposed to be that those fields and that farmland was blessed on this greater day of the Great Litany. And so now I think you know this from your Catechism, that St. Mark is the secretary of St. Peter. And so by tradition, Mark's Gospel is just the story of the life of Christ seen through the eyes of St. Peter himself. So by tradition, April 25th is the day back in the year 40 AD that St. Peter processed into Rome to become the first bishop of the city of Rome, which we now call the papacy, or the Holy Father. And so St. Mark didn't take his feast day from the day that he died, which is typically what happens. Saint takes as their feast day the day that they die is the day that they enter into heavenly glory. That becomes their feast day. So instead, St. Mark took the day that his boss, St. Peter, marched into Rome to become the bishop of the city. And so it's interesting that we always celebrate Secretaries' Day. This year, it was last Wednesday, April 21st. We always celebrate Secretaries' Day on the Wednesday nearest the feast day of St. Mark. And so that's because St. Mark was the secretary to St. Peter. And so I just invite you to bring a soil sample to the Mass this weekend, or if you're a bigger farmer, to bring the keys to your tractor, and I'll bless them, like I said, at the end of the Mass, so that you'll have a bountiful crop this year, and you can give thanks to God in advance for all that He's done for you. St. Mark, pray for us. St. Peter, pray for us. St. Isidore the farmer, pray for us.